blackboard. So yes, it's
Cool.
chalk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's great to have you here, Petros. So it's really excited
Thank you,
to
Rich.
talk to you and hear your story as well. So yeah, you've got a really, like, for people who are watching, so there's a bit of an echo. So great to have you here. So for people who are listening, Petros has a really interesting story about coming to study in China and then starting Behive, which is an incredible organization which is helping students to get career opportunities in China, which is a very much needed service in China from what we've seen as well. And so it's great to talk to you, Petros, to hear more about your story and about to learn more about Behive. So hi, Petros. Can you introduce?
Hi, Rich.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So
Thanks for the
you're in
invitation.
Cyprus.
It's good to be here. Yes.
So what is? Can you tell me, like, what brought you to China? What attracted you to study in China?
Yeah. So I studied in the UK. I studied economics, but after university, I wasn't really sure about what I really wanted to do with my life. So like many people, I took a gap year, and that's what brought me to China. I kind of persuaded my best friend to go to China through a program that involved teaching English. So the plan going to China was to stay for 1 year in China and then go back to the UK again and do a master's. But that never happened. I realized that there are many Cypriots. So Cyprus is a small island in Europe. There are many Cypriots who study in the UK. They do their masters in the UK, but there are not a lot of Cypriots who can speak Chinese. So I decided to stay in China for another year and study Chinese. And I studied Chinese at the University of International Business and Economics, and that's a university in Beijing. And I did an intensive Chinese course, and that was a time where a lot of magic happened, and I realized a lot of things about myself that I didn't know through that experience in Beijing, which led me to stay in China for a total of 4.5 years or so. Yeah,
that's a great story. So how is your Chinese now? It's pretty good level, is it?
Yes, so I can we can have this conversation in Chinese if you wish. I wouldn't say that I'm super fluent in Chinese, but I can, I'm conversational and I can get a lot of things done in Chinese. So I worked at a Chinese company for 2 years as the only foreign employee. I have the HSK5, so it's not amazing, but I can get things done with my Chinese.
Cool. So what was it like from not like studying in the UK to China? What's the situation like? Is it completely different, or are there some similarities?
Well, there are many I would say similarities and differences, but it depends on your mindset and how you're used to, I guess, socializing / studying. So I think that all universities. So let's say we talk about the community, the student community at universities. It's always segregated in the terms of, okay, you have the British, you have the Spanish, you have the Greeks, you have the Pakistani, whatever. So they hang around and they stay together. While in China, I would say it's more like you have the Chinese and you have the internationals. So I guess in China, it's kind of easier to make international friends through your university. Of course, you can also make Chinese friends after you practice your Chinese a bit and you're not shy in speaking Chinese. And of course, there are many Chinese students who now speak English. So I guess there are good things and bad things about being in China at the university. But I think one of the drawbacks that I found through studying in China was the fact that there is no career support at most universities. Of course, if you study at a top Chinese university, there are a lot of there are some services for international students, and you can make use of them. But at the same time, compared to what we had in the UK, it's very minimal. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. So you have to be creative if you decide to, go to China to study your work. But I guess that's, with great risk comes great reward. So it's up to you to make the most of the opportunity that you have in China. And as a matter of fact, the past 4 years that we've been building communities through Behive, through Startup Grind, through Global Shapers, we are creating this support system for students and young professionals, foreigners, outside of the university as well. So if you're creative enough, and if you like to meet new people, then you can get this support from elsewhere instead of your university.
Yeah, because I think in like UK, there's been so many international students for so long, and the university's career support is quite developed, and it's quite clear the job opportunities in UK. Like there's lots of companies that are coming around trying to hire people like all the time. It's lots of like seminars trying to hire students in UK. So like in China, what happens? Like how did you find your job when you in China?
Yeah, so while I was in China, so as a student, I was always very proactive. I would have my CV in both English and Chinese. Of course, I didn't write it myself. So I encourage you to get a Chinese friend or have someone help you with translating your CV in Chinese. So you need to have one page in English, one page in Chinese. So long story short, I would always network. I would always go to all of the events that were all of the job fairs as well that were at my university or other universities. So after attending a lot of different events and job fairs and getting nowhere, of course I did create the connections. I did meet people. I found 2 internships, not one internship, at one of the biggest job fairs that happened in Beijing at Peking University. So this was while I was a student, while studying Chinese. I attended this this job fair at Peking University, and that's where I had the chance to get 2 internships, which I completed at the same time. One in marketing and the other in finance. One was a startup, and the other one was HNA, like a big conglomerate that collapsed a couple of years ago. But yes, so I managed to find these opportunities through the job fairs that I attended. But at the same time, there are many opportunities that are kind of hidden. They're not really posted anywhere, and you can only find them through common friends. So I encourage everyone who's listening to this, if they want to find a job in China, and especially if it's their first job in China, then you have to be in China, create some kind of a network in China, and then just try to network as much as you can and go to all of the events possible. And that's how you kind of get your foot in the door.
Yeah, that's what I've found as well. Like most of the job opportunities they're not posted online. They just come from people asking a friend, like, do you know someone good who can do this? And like from the connections and people that so that's why, it's really important, isn't it, to make the connections. How do you have any suggestions on, like, it's just about going to as many events as possible? Do you have any other suggestions about how to make like valuable connections?
Yeah.
It's just,
so Guanxi is everything in China, so like connections as well. So my recommendation to everyone who is trying either to go to China or work with China is to download an app called WeChat. So WeChat is a very powerful tool that allows you to not just communicate with people, but that's how you build your personal brand. That's how you promote yourself. That's how you market your services. That's how you get people to remember you. So I would encourage people to download WeChat and start using it and learn how to network through WeChat. We offer many workshops on how to network through WeChat, through Behive. So make sure to check out some of our events that we can explain how WeChat works. So I guess WeChat is a way to create meaningful relationships and using WeChat properly. And at the same time, being open-minded and don't kind of assume that Chinese or the British or the Cypriots or the Spanish are like this. So just go with an open mind in terms of culture. So and that's how you get to discover the Chinese culture, and that's how you make real Chinese friends and connections that go a very, very long way. One of my friends met a guy at the networking event on the first weekend that we went to China, and then after 3 years, the same guy offered him his first full-time job in China. So connections in China go a very long way. So as an expat in China, as an international student in China, you have a lot of opportunities to meet other like-minded internationals who are in China, and they're motivated to, start a better life away from home. So they have this growth mindset that you have to explore and adapt and develop a lot of patience if you want to do anything in China.
Do you have any tips, like how do you successfully network or build connections on WeChat? Because I think many people outside China don't know WeChat and they're not on it, and it's like WeChat is basically like Facebook, WhatsApp, and email and phone, like phoning people, like everything, and like 20 times more, right? Yeah. Like how do you, and like LinkedIn, like how do you use WeChat to network in China?
Yeah. So WeChat is, so let's say in the West, we have all of these different apps that you mentioned, but in China, you only have one app, WeChat. And that's how people do most things in life. They buy, they sell, they promote, they book tickets, they date, they communicate for work, for personal purposes. So WeChat is very, very important for you to at least download before you go to China. You will need someone to help you with activating WeChat before you go to China. So you need to find a Chinese friend or go through a community or through an organization that can help you to activate WeChat, which is very easy. You need someone to scan the QR code that is shown to you if it's the first time you use WeChat. So tips to use WeChat, I would say use it with no regret, no fear. So it's not like Facebook or Instagram where you have to meet someone a bit better and then get their social media. It's kind of like you meet someone for the first time, you can ask them, 可以加微信吧? 加微信吧? Or 可以加你微信吗? Just 加微信吧, which is like add your WeChat. Can we add on WeChat? So you can ask them for their WeChat on the spot if you meet them, and then you can show them your QR code and you can ask them to scan you. That's how they cannot get away from your invitation request. Whereas if you scan them, then they receive the invitation, they might forget or refuse, so it expires. Actually, there's a networking timeline that I can get into, and WeChat is a very important tool that you need to message your friends whenever it's holiday, Chinese New Year, wish them all Happy New Year. There's a function that allows you to broadcast a message to, I don't know, like 500, thousands of people within minutes. So, but I think that the first thing that you need to do if you're starting up in China, if you want to meet people in China, you need to see whether you have any Chinese friends already. Maybe that's through your previous jobs, or maybe it's through your, maybe it's in your hometown, or maybe there's some Chinese living there. So try to get acquainted with Chinese people in your local area, in your home country, before going to China. And they will, introduce other friends, Chinese friends in China. And of course, everything happens through WeChat. And I think WeChat is a huge topic, and it's very much worth exploring if you want to do anything that has to do with China. So
yeah, it's pretty hard to find opportunities without WeChat. And what do you think are the main opportunities for graduates who young people in China now? Like, where are the job opportunities?
Yeah, so it depends on your skill set. There are a lot of organizations, big organizations like ByteDance, Asia Investment Infrastructure Bank, and some other like international organizations that hire a lot of foreigners, I would say aggressively. So that it could be in marketing, it could be investment, it could be more like a technical role, like engineering or something. But so this is one path. So you can try to find your first job in China, either through these companies, or you can also try out teaching English and then move on to something else. That's also something very common that people do. At the same time, you can also start your own company in China. So universities in China offer a lot of support. Universities and local governments in China offer a lot of support for people who want to start their own company as internationals. So you can easily get free address and get a lot of mentorship and get a lot of support if you are an international in China. But whatever you do, you need to, I guess, find your niche. Think about what makes you unique. Maybe, for example, I'm from Cyprus and I speak Greek. I have a unique network in the Eastern Mediterranean, whatever. And I have this cultural understanding of the Greek society or whatever. So if I want to enter a company, a Chinese company, then I need to know how to leverage these unique networks or skills that you have. So you have to think about from your own side. Where are you from? Are you from Korea? Are you from Thailand? Are you from the UK? Like what do you have to offer to a potential employer, and what makes you an attractive candidate? Because keep in mind that Chinese students are increasingly studying overseas, so they do have some English skills, and they develop the cultural, I guess, agility. So you have to really think about what makes you unique and really focus on selling that. Maybe you're good at presenting, maybe you're good at languages, maybe you're a tech guy. So whatever you do, you need to keep that at the back of your mind.
Yeah. Do you think for these opportunities, do you think you need to speak Chinese to find these opportunities?
Well, to some extent, to find these opportunities and to grasp these opportunities, you do need to speak some basic Chinese. So be able to socialize in Chinese, because some jobs will be posted only in Chinese. And so reality is that if you cannot speak any Chinese, then unless you're a native English speaker, there are not many things that you can do or find in China. So I highly encourage you to learn at least basic Chinese, and that's how you find the opportunities. But if you want to grasp the opportunity and really secure a job, then you might need to speak, a bit more, better Chinese than basic. So I guess like HSK 5 is an okay level to have. Some companies require HSK 3, HSK 5, but others require you to speak idiomatically. So if you want to work at Google in China, for example, then you have to be either Chinese or speak Chinese natively. But I think that this situation will change as time goes. So the more time you spend in China, the more I see that China is opening up to international talent, and I see there are more and more opportunities for foreigners that want to work with China. That can be either in China or remotely. So I guess that, yes, speaking Chinese is important, but there are some opportunities that requires you, that doesn't require Chinese, but they're very limited.
Yeah. So like right now, it seems like one of the best ways for students is to do the networking, to like meet people face to face. But as you know, like right now, the border's closed and so many students are around the world. They can't come to China, but they want to find opportunities in China, probably for when the border opens. Like, do you have any suggestions about things students can do now before the border opens to get ready for careers or to find opportunities in China?
Yeah, so of course, online events is something that people can leverage to at least meet people online. I know everyone's very tired of online events. It's been a year of online stuff. But in reality, this might continue for, I don't know for how long, maybe 4, 5, 6 months nobody knows. So yes, keep going to online events, check out different communities like, Behive, where we provide training that can help you, stay positive and get creative during this interesting time. Other than online events, I would encourage you to leverage other platforms like LinkedIn. That's how you keep in contact with companies and people who might be able to offer you a job in China. So make sure to follow, I guess, Chinese companies or foreigners that have experience in China. So make sure to find some kind of mentors that can help you navigate the Chinese market when it opens up. Other than that, maybe, so let's say if you're based in Cyprus, then you have to go and network with Chinese companies that are based in Cyprus, or maybe try and find companies in your hometown, in your home place that work with China. So those companies, by interacting with them, then you will know more about China and kind of develop some experience. If you can get an internship working at a local company that works with China, and that you do that from your home, then that's it's going to be very beneficial when you actually manage to go back to China. And just like find a way to remove the uncertainty from the equation, and don't be like, okay, I'm going to just sit here and wait for China to. So you don't have to. So to know about China, to experience China, you can do that even before going to China. You can do that by interacting with the right people, attending the right events, being creative. So don't just sit there and wait for the borders to open, because nobody knows when they're going to open, and you have to be realistic. It's just like, the way it is.
Yeah, because it's like everything is changed, but there are also opportunities, aren't there? Like through all of this change, there are definitely opportunities. Like if students are in their own country, they can start building the network, and they can do many things that they couldn't do before. And there are also like quite a lot of good online Chinese programs that students can take to get their Chinese level up. So we have quite a lot on our platform as well, and they're really affordable. Actually, there's some really low cost programs, like for example, like 800 RMB for a 1 month program, like 20-hour program. There's some really good programs that, really good for students. Can you tell me like more about Behive and what do you guys do and how it works?
Sure. So we started Behive a few years ago when we experienced the lack of career support at our university. So I studied economics, and then I taught English, and then I was learning Chinese. So all this in the span of 3-4 years. So I was kind of lost with my career life. So because of that reason, I went to the career service department at my university, and there was no support there. I didn't find what I was looking for. So we started Behive as a way to support the local community, to start building the skills, start building their networks. So through that, we leveraged the community, our connections, and we started having a lot of different events, offline events in Beijing. So we've had so far more than 100 events in Beijing and Shanghai, all of them focusing on different soft skills, personal development topics, such as public speaking, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, but also like, more practical things like how to find a job in China as an international, how to write a perfect CV as an international talent. So these are events that are tailored to international students and professionals who are working in China or want to work with China. And we do that by collaborating with different trainers and facilitators. So most of these programs are free, especially the ones that are online. We've had more than, 30 webinars this past year. And so to join the community, you can go to our website. It's a free membership. It's called behivego.com. I can type it in the chat box, and you can go and register for free, and that's how you can be notified about our future events and training. So Behive stands for the safe place where you can grow and thrive, and we built this again from the need that we saw that existed for internationals in China, that they're not having the career support, not having community. And of course, right now there are many different communities that you should keep in mind in China. So yeah, even before going to China, you can start leveraging your network within China. So I encourage you to join Behive, join some of our group chats, and make sure to check the opportunities that China Admissions offers. So learning Chinese is a great way to, learn more about the culture and be prepared for either your studies or your, professional life in China. And if it's as affordable as Rich says, then it's a steal. You should, sign up and learn as much as you can, and then apply it with your Chinese friends. So you have to learn and network. So make sure that you have some people to practice this Chinese that you're learning.
Yeah, definitely. There's also a really other good program that is really popular right now, and that's Shanghai Jiao Tong University. They have a EBA program. It's like an online business program, and it's a 3-month program, and it's 6,800 RMB, and it's really, it could be really interesting for your community as well, because it's like has access to the Shanghai Jiao Tong, like lots of internationals in Shanghai. And students can learn like some really good courses about business in China, and they also get like a certificate from Shanghai Jiao Tong University. So this is a really cool program, and some students have been taking the program and they're like amazed by how many classes they get. Like it's really good how much content they get from really good professors. So that's another really good program they can take. Yeah, that's cool. So what are the plans for the future for Beehive? What do you plan to do in the future?
Yeah, so right now we are working with more universities that want to, help their international students and Chinese students become more, I guess, better communicators and more culturally agile. So we're working with them on that. So right now we're working with, for example, the UNFPA and Tsinghua University on a leadership program that helps students develop, public speaking, understand how design thinking works, learn how to navigate the VUCA world. VUCA it stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, and that's what the past couple of years have been for everyone. So we're increasingly working with more universities to prepare their students for globalized workplace. So that's what we're working on right now. And at the same time, for our public community, we have our previous events hosted on our website, again, behivego.com. So you can, access our previous events for free through that platform. And we're also working on different types of online courses that will be provided to, international students that want to study or work in China. So those are some things that we have in the works. But yeah.
Cool. It's great. Are there any other organizations that you can recommend, or any other groups that you can recommend students should research, or like any other resources that you can recommend for students?
For sure. So it depends on what you want to achieve in China and where you are, whether you are in China or not right now. But there are many different community organizations that can help you expand your network. And I highly encourage you to volunteer with these different organizations. For example, you have Startup Grind, which is a global community for entrepreneurs, and they are in Beijing, Shanghai, and a lot of different other cities in China. You have Scholar, which is focuses on an organization called Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So they bring students and young professionals from different countries that are part of the SEO region. I think it includes Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Russia, China. So all of this, India, all of these students can get together under a platform where they can relate with each other, because they have similar cultures. Global Shapers as well is one thing that you might want to be involved. It's all about social impact and supporting the local community. And also many of the Global Shapers are entrepreneurs or very well connected. So these organizations are a very straightforward way to enlarge your network. And then again, as mentioned, having a network in China is very, very important, and you can start building it even before being in China. I think level one as well. So if you're into coding, you can also check out this, like they do classes for coding, and having tech skills is very useful. It doesn't matter if you're in China or Europe or elsewhere. And yes, Chinese, find a way to practice your Chinese, check out, the programs that Rich mentioned. And the best thing would be to have a Chinese language buddy that you can get to talk, almost daily, and you get to correct each other and support each other. So maybe your Chinese friend is trying to learn Spanish, or they're trying to learn English, so you can, engage in language exchange.
Yeah, that's a great way. And it's cool that there's many students don't realize that there's so many communities in China that they can access. They think that like China is not, it's like hard to know what it's really like when you're not in China, isn't it?
Yes, I see. I think that one of the best things about China is how well connected and how much expats help each other. So if you're an international student or professional in China, then it's very easy to get to know the expat community or the international community, especially if you're in a place that has a lot of foreigners like Beijing or Shanghai, especially Shanghai. So try to create these networks of people that are going to help you because they relate to you, because they've been where you are right now. Maybe you're just trying to go to China. Maybe you're trying to, start your career in China, or maybe you're studying in China. So many of the foreigners that are in China right now have been there, have done that, and they were helped by others. So they will be very willing to help you as well. So make sure to find mentors and create these connections with the expat communities and be part of these different communities.
Cool, that's great, Petros. It's been great to talk to you. Do you have anything else to say to students about careers or any other comments?
Yeah, so it's not very straightforward. Being in China, it's you have to be creative. You need to find your niche, and you have to put in the work. But if you do put in the work, if you do study Chinese, if you network, and if you go to China with no expectations, then you will make the most of it, whether you're studying or working there. So good luck to everyone. If you want to connect with me, please feel free to do so on LinkedIn or WeChat. My username is Petros Jak on LinkedIn, and that's also for WeChat. So Petros Jak. If you want to know more about Behive, you can go to our website, behivego.com. And it's been a pleasure, Rich. Thank you for having me. Good luck to everyone. And yes, don't wait to start your China journey after you go to China. Try to start your China journey before going to China by learning Chinese and networking, as Rich mentioned.
Thank you, Petros. Yeah, it's great to have you here, and it's great to have your thoughts, and it's great that you're helping students, like building the community, which is really valuable for students. So hope to see you soon back in Beijing, and more events in the future. All right.
Thank you, Rich.
Cheers, Petros. Have a nice day.